Chapter 1. Lucky Strike had a photo of a bowling alley in his dating profile. I hadn't been bowling for years, not since the kids were little, but I'd heard it was good exercise. After exchanging several messages, making small talk, we agreed to meet at High Roller Lanes. Strike, a.k.a. Louie, was waiting outside the doors, a zippered vinyl bag in each hand, when I pulled in. He was wearing a brown and gold striped bowling shirt and yelling my name as if I hadn't already seen him. "Jessica, yo, Jess!" Well, at least he's friendly, and it would be nice to play with a pro, not with the kids who threw gutter balls and then cried. "Jessica!" He was still yelling, and for a moment I worried he was hard of hearing and I would have to shout back. "Yep, that's me. I heard you calling when I was parking, Louie. Wanted to make sure you saw me." It would be hard to miss him. He had packed on at least 50 more pounds on the already large frame he'd shown in his photos. And in real life, he had a greaseback Elvis-style pompadour. He pushed the door open with his shoulder and sailed through, leaving me to hold the door for myself before it shut in my face. Okay, maybe just overly eager to get onto the lanes. "It's $20 for 2 games, so you pay for one and I'll get the other," Louie said generously. "What about renting shoes?" "Got my own right here," he held up the smaller bag, "and my lucky ball." I suppressed a laugh. I traded my sneaks for scuffed bowling shoes and followed Louie, who was nearly skipping, out to our lane. "Okay, well, let me just get warmed up." He cracked his knuckles and did some side bends at the waist. Then, as I watched in amazement, he bent over and touched his toes to stretch the back of his legs and rotated his neck, which also cracked. "How's that going for you?" I asked. "1 second," Louie said, massaging his own shoulders and then briefly running in place. "Okay, ready, I'll go first." I sat down in the orange booth, a front row seat, thinking maybe I'd learn something from him. Go for it. He picked up his purple bowling ball that looked so shiny I wondered if he had polished it. And then he began to shuffle. Literally shuffle, from where I was sitting all the way out to the lane, already swinging his ball with his right arm. Okay. Maybe bowling form had changed since I'd last played. But when he got to the line to make his throw, instead of making one more swing and propelling it down toward the pins, he dropped it, making a really loud noise that interrupted the man on the next lane. The ball took an interminable time to roll down to the pins, eventually reaching a near halt and knocking down 2 pins. 2. Well, I got gypped on that one. Should have been a straight shot, but it had a wicked right hook. Okay. He took his second shot, knocking down 2 more pins. Jesus! Louie was clearly pissed. Guess I'm off my game today. He came back and glumly sat down. I got up with my not-so-shiny pink ball and tried to use good form, throwing with surprising force, knocking down half the pins, leaving room for what could be a spare on the next roll. "You got lucky on that one," Louie hollered. Relaxing my shoulders, I took a shot that curved directly where I wanted it, taking down the remaining pins. A spare. Louie glared from his seat. Lucky again. He did another shuffle throw, taking down 3 pins, followed by a gutter ball. "Where's the bar?" he growled. He stormed away, not even asking if I wanted a drink. I threw a 4-pin, then knocked down 3, narrowly missing a spare. Then I waited. When my kids were little, I'd taken them bowling many times.